Kalv was in his car, but he couldn't see who the driver was. So he knew Kalv was sat there, but he couldn't find out who it was. And he watched all the CCTV. He was asking everyone. And I had the visor down. So for months, he was like trying. And I actually took him to his car because I knew exactly where it was. And he still didn't realise it was me for about 2 months.
This is the official Leeds United podcast.
Well, Patrick, you say, that you've not been up to a lot, but there was something that you were trying to keep quiet that ended up coming out anyway. So I'm sorry to bring it up because I know you didn't want to really talk about it, but it was such a lovely gesture. You did something to help Beeston Primary School, didn't you?
Yeah, it was kind of a strange one. Like, I came up with the idea when the first lockdown happened. So it actually happened about, 5-6 weeks ago. I was driving home and got back home, and I was looking at Twitter whilst driving, but we'll just say it was when I got back home. I got on the driveway.
He had a driver. That's right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I checked Twitter and saw about this lockdown and saw a load of stuff about how kids were going to be missing out because they couldn't learn from home because they either didn't have the Wi-Fi or didn't have the laptops or computers at home and stuff. So I had an idea, can I help them, like just give them computers or laptops or whatever they need. So I rang Jay, the media guy, and was like, how can I help? And he put forward the Beeston School, and I'd worked with them when I first joined Leeds. There was like a NFL day to do with the 49ers, and I'd worked with them then. So I kind of knew of them, and it just came about like that, and how I could help and donating the iPads or the tablets, and it was one of them where I felt because I was kind of privileged when I was younger in getting a proper education. Like, I thought that was kind of my mum and dad's choice. It wasn't like I, as a 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, you don't say, oh, I want this kind of education. It's just what your mum and dad give you. So the kids don't really have a choice. So I felt like it's not their fault if they're missing out. It's like they can't be punished for something that's not their responsibility. So I just said, how can I help? And we got on a Zoom call with the headmistress, and I offered to kind of help teaching some of the lessons. But
did they say no to that?
Yeah, they did. Quickly. They just said, no, you can do a few like little bit inspirational quotes and stuff, and a few video recordings. But yeah, I was just happy to help, to be honest, and it just felt like the right thing.
That's nice.
Well, it's admirable, that is, Patrick.
Yeah.
Genuinely admirable.
I'm not sure how it got out either, because I said to Jay, like, just don't publish it, because you know what it's like, people jump on the bandwagon and say, oh, he's done it for this reason or that reason. Yeah. So I said, just keep it quiet. And then the school put it out in the newsletter, I think, and next thing I'm getting tweeted by everyone. And so that was like 4 weeks later, so we did well for about 3 or 4 weeks to keep it under wraps.
I think, you know what, on the flip side of it, Pat, like, yeah, okay, it's nice that you want to keep it quiet, and it was just a nice little thing to do. But the fact that it is now out there, and that other people potentially go, oh, that's something that I could do. I didn't realise that was an issue, that kids needed this kind of stuff. Actually, the exposure of it being released actually might even do even better, and it might even be, lead to more money being raised. So,
yeah, fingers
fantastic.
Crossed. Fingers crossed.
Listening on together.
Following on from the penalty stat, how is the spot kick taker chosen? Is there a competition in training, or is it up to the manager?
Through training, we kind of, at the end, take penalties. Just there's a handful of us, and whenever you're doing anything on the pitch, it's always noted down, like whether it's the manager or one of the coaches. So they kind of note down how many you've taken, how many you've missed, and it gets decided like that. And I was the first choice until I missed it last season, and then Clicky took over, and until Clicky missed it, then it goes back to me. So it's kind of.
So is it just
really.
The two of you? It just rotates between you two, you and Clicky?
Part of last season, I think Pablo was in the mix as well, but
yeah.
I think he hit the post on one of them. So then it was just kind of down to me and Clicky, and at the minute it's me. So. Hopefully I keep them duties.
Is it quite common that? Have you had that before, Bex?
Yeah, but I'll be honest.
Misses...
but I've always decided, right, well, if I've missed the first one, I'm going to take another one, because I don't normally miss from there, and then miss from there, and then I'll step up again and I'll say no, give me one more chance, I'll score, and then I'll score, and then they can't take me off it then. But it is usually it's almost a competition. We used to have competitions. Whoever could last the longest in front of from the penalty spot, whoever scores the most goals from the penalty spot, goes into that weekend's game. You know, because it's about confidence. Ultimately, stepping up to take a penalty, you have to be confident stepping up to it. You have to be. And I've always fancied myself. I've always fancied my chances. I've been able to score from everywhere on the pitch. So from 12 yards without a defender in the way, and it's just me against the goalkeeper. As a forward, you've got to be confident. You've got to fancy yourself.
All Leeds, aren't we? The official Leeds United podcast.
Well, I'll tell you what. We used to, when I was at Preston with Paul Gallagher, he used to say to me, he used to give me the wink in the changing rooms, and that meant as soon as the kit man comes in, because he's a little bit older, a little bit frail, as soon as he comes in, we pick him up by his arms and his legs, and we throw him in the ice bath. He was about 65, 66-ish, but like frail.
Yeah, could have given
Possibly, yeah, quite possibly. I felt so bad, but because listen, when you get the wink, there's no coming out of it.
You've got to do it.
Yeah, you didn't feel bad enough, did you? Bless
absolutely
him.
not. No, yeah, you say that. He used to love it, really, when he warmed up.
To be fair, last year we had a little bit of an inquest out. Ben White his car got moved, and it got moved into the prison. And
oh wow!
He was trying to find out.
Directly opposite.
Yeah, he was trying to find out who did it.
Oh no, down at Thorpe Arch. Oh, right,
yeah. And he was trying to find out who did it, and we drove out in Kalvin's car. It was me and Kalv, and Kalv was in his car, but he couldn't see who the driver was. So he knew Kalv was sat there, but he couldn't find out who it was. And he watched all the CCTV. He was asking everyone, and I had the visor down. So for months he was like trying. And I actually took him to his car because I knew exactly where it was, and he still didn't realise it was me for about 2 months.
Listening on together.
Patrick, so obviously we've heard from Matt and Jermaine, but how are you feeling after that? Because ultimately, 3 points are 3 points, aren't they?
And you're not allowed to say well rested.
Yeah, I think that ultimately the aim was to win the game. I mean, we would have liked to probably make it a little bit more comfortable. The second half especially, they had a few chances. I was actually speaking to Jamal today, because I was with him at Forest when we were younger as kids, and he felt that they should have won the game.
Really?
I said, well, yeah, he seemed to feel that. I said, well, I'm not sure about that. I mean, he did have a few chances second half, but it was really like a half an hour spell that they had where they conjured up a few chances. But ultimately, the fact that we won, and as Matty said, grinding out a win, sometimes we have had to learn that you've got to grind it out, you've got to kill time, game management, that kind of thing. So it was impressive from the lads to see it through, and we did make it difficult at times, but 3 points was the most important thing, and then just park that one, I think, and look forward to Leicester, which will be a totally different challenge.
All Leeds, aren't we? The official Leeds United podcast.
Category number 1. Remember, you've all got a nomination each. Goal of the season so far. And Patrick, I'm going to come to you first.
Can I vote for myself?
You absolutely can. Yeah.
Vane!
I'm going to, not being biased or anything, but I'm going to go for my third one at Villa.
Which one was that, Pat?
Just take us through it.
That was a good one, to be fair.
It was the little dancing steps and then the little clip into the
Proud of that one.
In the middle of the 18-yard box. Lovely
Like
little
players
drop
round
the
him.
shoulder, opened up, far corner. Lovely.
Right, so
Well-
Patrick is nominating himself. Jermaine.
Well, I'm gonna be sensible, and I'm gonna go for Mr. Jack Harrison against
you
West
are.
Brom.
West Brom or Newcastle?
Do you-
No.
Newcastle, sorry.
Yeah.
Newcastle. He's got that many. Yeah, I think that was outrageous. I absolutely loved it. So that's my nomination. It would have been your little dancing feet, but you voted for yourself, man.
To be fair, mine's a toss-up between that one, and I'm guessing Matt might say the next one.
Yeah, I might do.
Go on, Matt. Who's your nomination?
Mine was a touch as well.
Do you know what it was like? I don't know if were you watching at home yesterday, Bex, or were you in a studio somewhere watching it?
I was working. Yes.
Because the on NBC over here, I'm watching it from home. And
by the way, Matt's in America. He likes to remind us.
Yeah, right. But the point is that I thought Harrison's goal yesterday was absolutely out of this world. From the pass from Rafinha to the finish, and the commentary was so mute. It was so muted. They were just like, "Oh, he's scored," and I was like,
"I scored!"
Wow. It was like the best goal, and like I thought it was going to get disallowed. It was offside or something because they were just like no one was raving about, and even Harrison didn't even celebrate that much.
Can you not like him?
It was a brilliant finish.
It was a belter.
Can you not like mute your TV?
Just cutting across it as well. Oh.
Yeah,
incredible. That's not my goal.
Can you not like mute your TV, Matt, and like listen to it on the radio on your phone? Like go on an app and listen to it on there. Like if Bex is doing commentary or whatever.
Exactly. Thank you, Bex. Thank you.
Why would I want to hear it more than an hour a week?
Listen, you listen to me on commentary, you will love it. I'm telling you now.
I'll put him on TalkSport and he's still taking a out of me. Why would I want to listen to that?
This is the official Leeds United podcast.